TAGGR is a decentralized social media. It's built on ICP. The main problem that TAGGR is trying to solve is the fact that in the current social media landscape, you have artists that are being exploited. You have platforms profiting from selling user data. TAGGR basically is trying to change this. It's trying to avoid users being turned into products, even entire populations, being silenced by platforms, bowing to state pressure and all this kind of stuff. This is basically the main vision for TAGGR.
Welcome back, guys. Today I'm here with two core contributors of TAGGR, a decentralized social media platform built on ICP. And the first question for you guys is, what is TAGGR and what's the main problem that you're solving?
Hey everyone, I'm Mantnietti. So yeah, as you said, I'm one of the contributors to TAGGR. I discovered it quite soon after it launched back in 2022. And basically, as you said, TAGGR is a decentralized social media. It's built on ICP. And the main problem that TAGGR is trying to solve is the fact that in the current social media landscape, you have artists that are being exploited. You have bot being suppressed, platforms profiting from selling user data, and you have all these problems basically. So TAGGR basically is trying to change this landscape. It's trying to give control back to creators, to the users. It's trying to avoid users being turned into products, and even entire populations, being silenced by platforms, bowing to state pressure and all this kind of stuff. This is basically the main vision for TAGGR.
Right. And so basically, the platform is controlled by the users through a DAO, and you're using ICP technology and blockchain to allow censorship-resistant posts. And I'm very curious about how do you exactly integrate internet computer, and what are the features that you are using and that make convenient to use ICP?
Basically, TAGGR doesn't just simply integrate the internet computer. It was basically born on top of this network. It's been built by an anonymous developer. We don't know who he is. He goes by the name of X. And I think that when he launched it, he was simply trying to see what were the capabilities of ICP. So the fact that all the content lives 100% on chain, from posts to comments, endorsements, even media. The canisters handle all the logic, the storage, it handles the governance logic, and then eventually automations. The fact that the platform is fueled by ICP cycles. This means that TAGGR is free to read, so you don't have to pay anything in order to be able to consume the content on the platform. And also internet identity, which enables frictionless, passwordless, privacy-first logins. This is something that's very useful for the vision of TAGGR. And lately, we also have integrated custom domains, which can point directly to filtered content within the main canister. And this enables creating personalized versions of TAGGR. You can have your own personal blog. You can have, community forum for a university, thematic communities, and all these kind of things. And ICP basically it's what enables a social media like TAGGR to exist, actually, because when you think about blockchain and dApps, there's no other project out there that is able to offer this kind of flexibility like ICP.
You could even have a ICP Hub Italy, for example. You can have a realm. ICP Hub Italy can be your main communication hub, and you can have a domain that brings users right into that realm, right? Realms are kind of like private, well, not private channels, but they're like subreddits, if you will. Yeah, subreddits is a good example. So you can have a specialized domain, icphubitaly.com, whatever, and people click on that and it comes right to the special TAGGR realm.
Right. So basically you can create some verticals, like let's say like some channels where the discussions is like thematic around one topic, And yeah, so basically you can create this vertical which is connected to a specific domain. This is something you integrated recently. I was checking on X, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a new feature that was introduced just a couple of weeks ago, and it's still something new. We still have to see people building on top of this feature. I'm certainly going to test it out a bit, see if how I can manage to create, a small community, maybe forum. Yeah, it's going to be fun to test it out for sure.
Yeah, and I think the important thing here is like Yeti said at the beginning, right? TAGGR is all about ownership and control, right? And owning your content and not just giving it away. And you use the platform and you pay for using the platform, but you also control and own your content on the platform, right? So if you set up a Discord or you set up a subreddit and you brought your whole community there and your community joined and started to use the platform and generate revenue for the platform, it's not just going to a platform to a corporation. The owner of the realms also get a share of the revenue that those realms create, right? So if you think about a subreddit or whatever, if it's very popular, Reddit doesn't share some of its revenues with the subreddit, right? The realms allows you to earn a portion of those revenues that is generated on the platform.
Right. And I think this is one of the main features and one of the most important ones, I would say, of your product. And yeah, maybe let's go a bit more in detail about this because I was talking to Yeti during the World Computer Summit, and yeah, it was explaining me that basically the whole social media platform is like self-sustainable and automated. So it uses a treasury and it uses the DAO architecture to basically work in an autonomous way, and also is sustained by a business model that basically allows users to earn from posting and to pay to post. So you want to discuss a bit about the technicalities and how the model works.
Yeah, basically, TAGGR runs on a credit-based system that makes spam expensive, rewards participation, and also, as you said, it funds itself without the need of having advertisers to maintain the platform. So when you join TAGGR, you have to mint these credits. You do so by using ICP. And most recently, we also introduced minting, joining the platform using Bitcoin directly. So you wouldn't even need an ICP wallet to join TAGGR. 1,000 credits is equivalent to $1.3, more or less. It's tied to the XDR. So it's always a constant cost, basically. And 1,000 credits allows you to post around 500 simple text posts, basically, because every interaction, every post, every comment, every like has a different cost. It's very minimal. We're talking about a fraction of a cent. But as I said, this basically allows to avoid a bit of spam and engagement farming and all this kind of stuff, while also giving the ability to the platform to sustain itself by having this shared treasury. And the platform is completely autonomous. Basically, no one needs to manually buy cycles. It does it all by itself. When it needs computation, it's going to take ICP from the treasury, convert it to cycles, pay for computation. If it needs storage, it's going to spawn another canister by itself, and it's going to expand autonomously, basically. This also allows you to earn based on your content, because if people interact with your posts, if people endorse them, give you likes, part of the cost goes to the treasury, and the most part of that cost goes to you as the content owner, basically. So this is how you basically earn by using the platform. The users receive weekly payouts. There's a distribution happening every Friday. Basically, what you generated during the week. Let's say you generated $5 worth of $5 worth. These can be automatically converted either to credits, so you can continue using the platform, You can choose to get these rewards in ICP or in TAGGR tokens, which is the governance token, and you're gonna get basically the equivalent of ICP or TAGGR of $5 because that's what you generated during the week. When it comes to governance, the whole platform is DAO controlled, meaning no one can tamper with the content. No one can tamper with the logic of the platform. You need 66% approval to pass a vote, and anyone can participate. We have continuous discussions on what needs to be built, who can do that, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think the one thing I would add is we talk a lot about ownership in crypto, and Web3 is all about ownership, right? But and a lot of people think they own a platform. Okay, I own it. I get to vote. I have governance or whatever. But then the revenues, well, either the platform doesn't create any revenues, right, which is 99% of the crypto apps, they don't really generate revenues. But the ones that do, it just goes to someone who owns the who owns the code, right? But the TAGGR holders, the TAGGR token holders, they get the proportion of the revenue every week, right? So the platform fees that are generated from using the platforms minus any computation or storage cost that the platform uses, that revenue or that net profit gets allocated out to the users, right? So if the platform makes $100 in a week and you have 10% share, you get $10, right? And that's completely scalable.
Yeah, thank you. This is actually very cool, and there are a couple of points which are very interesting that probably deserve like more in-depth discussion. Like, for example, as Yeti mentioned, the anti-spam system. So basically, the thing is like in a social media platform like Twitter or X, now it's called. For example, in this platform, what happens is that it's full of bots. Many people are just posting a lot of spam. Every time I post content on X, I see so many bots and so many also scams promoted under my posts. And basically, the feature of paying for posting is basically eliminating some of this spam, which I think it's very interesting because users may think that paying to use a social media platform is actually bad, but on the other side, it actually eliminates some of the spam, and so the general experience within the platform is more convenient. And I would also say that nowadays, for example, even to use X and get a better exposure on from your posts, you need to pay like a monthly fee. So this model is actually changing. You want to add something,
Yeah,
Megagon?
no, I was gonna say amen. Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly. My view is so some people see, oh, you have to pay some credits to make a post as you paid to post, but I think you're always paying. You're either paying subscription, like you said on Twitter or X. You're either paying by giving up your data, right? Phone number, email address, right? And then you're paying because you have to see ads, right? So you are paying one way or another. Here you're paying a nominal amount, right? I think it's like less than, it's like, what is it, 0.0026 of a cent to to make one post, right? So you're paying, but you're not paying much. And you also have ability to earn, right? So I think the net cost outflow is probably negligible at all. And if you're a good content creator, you're probably net positive, right? So I think that needs to come into context. So yeah, but the point about the spam prevention is important, right? It doesn't eliminate spam, but it makes the spam costly. um, but also you have the ability to create bots, to content bots. So not all bots are bad, right? But if your bot is not profitable, right? If your bot is not making good content that people want to see, then it won't be profitable either, right? So
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think That's why I believe this feature is actually useful, and probably we will see more social media adapting this. And yeah, as you mentioned, the other important point is that uh, basically, as you said, if you don't pay but for posting, you pay with your data. So since on TAGGR there's no advertising, there's no need for the end user to provide, for example, the phone number, the email address, and other personal data that are actually collected by the social media, like, for example, your position and in general your interests and these other personal information, and which is always risky because people maybe don't think about that. But when you provide even just your phone number to a centralized platform, what happens is that many times there are data breaches. And what happens when there's a data breaches is that some hacker just gets your information, and then they can use it to try to steal your funds from an exchange where you used the same phone number as the social media platform, with phishing and spoofing mechanisms. So I think it's great if it's possible to use a social media platform without giving up your data. And I was thinking maybe let's show a little demo to users by sharing your screen and guiding the user through the platform to get a feeling of how it looks like and how it works.
Yeah, of course. Let me share the screen. Okay, perfect. So basically, this is a landing page that some user created to give out some invites that come with preloaded credits. So you don't even have to convert ICP initially or send Bitcoin to join the platform. You can come here. It also explains a bit what TAGGR is, why it's needed, and it gives a little introduction on how the credit system works. And you can simply just go here, claim some credits. So you're going to be prompted. You can choose whether to join with a seed phrase, which is stored in your browser. It's convenient for sure. Maybe it's the less secure way to join TAGGR, or you can join using internet identity. I know X was starting to look into passkeys as well. So you wouldn't even need an internet identity, just Face ID, and you could join with that. It's a feature that's being worked on, I think. But in this case, we're going to join with internet identity. I'm just going to use maybe, let me see, maybe 182. Yeah. This shouldn't be tied to any account yet. So I can also guide you through the onboarding process, what it means to join TAGGR. Okay, so you're going to choose your name, last on board. For example, you can add something about you, blah, 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 as Dominic said during the caffeine demo. You can choose the color theme scheme for the platform. I like the black or the classic, for example. Just hit save. It's creating your account. Perfect. So basically, through this invite, you're going to be sent directly to the Hello World realm, where this user also gives a little introduction, so it can help you understand better how the platform works. And here you have your user dashboard. We can see we got 200 credits. This is going to allow us to create around 100 simple text posts. As I said, every interaction has a cost. Posting images, for example, costs you 20 credits, so you have enough for 10 images, and so on. This is your wallet, where you receive TAGGR, your principal ID, your ICP account, and it shows you ICP. So every week, if you generate any revenue, any rewards, it's going to be sent here. So let's go to the main page. We have 4 different tabs. The new tab, here you're going to see everything that's posted on TAGGR, basically. The hot tab is going to show you the most engaged posts during the last 7 days. They're dynamically changing every day, so that no specific content is going to stay up for too long, let's say. For me, in this section, you're only going to see what you follow. You can follow users, you can follow realms, you can follow hashtags. And this is the realm. For now, as a new user, I've been joined only to the hello world, but we can go and select maybe a couple of realms we're interested. We have the DAO realm, the TAGGR dev, where the discussion about the development of the platform happens. Photography, for example, is a pretty good one. It's one of the most curated realms, one of the oldest ones on the platform. So as we anticipated earlier, basically every realm has its own set of rules that you need to follow, because otherwise the realm controller can choose to remove your post from the realm, and they can also choose how much it's going to cost you to be removed. So you also have to be mindful where you post, what you're posting, because it might have an impact on your pockets, you know. So let's join maybe this one. But I have the account age is too low, because they said that in order to join this realm, you need to have a certain account age. Maybe they're trying to avoid, I don't know, maybe bots or spam users. We could choose another one, maybe Instagram. I think this one is a little more flexible. It doesn't have rules that are so strict. Yeah, this one is. Let's post your photos in daily scenes. That's the rule. Post eviction, then I think Piroziki is going to choose whether he likes your post or not, and it's going to cost you and credits if you're going to be removed. You need to accept the rules. And now when you look here, you see all the realms you joined, basically. What else can you do on TAGGR? Everything is transparent. Everything is free to read. As I said earlier, you can see the white paper, you can see the dashboard. Here you have the number of users, the active ones during the past 7 days, the number of people online right now, how many posts, how many comments there have been since TAGGR was launched, the state of the app, how much its storage is, how much is in the ICP treasury. We don't have any Bitcoin treasury yet because it's just been launched. No one used Bitcoin to join yet. The next distribution is going to happen in 6 hours. This is the number of credits that the platform has available. This is the week's revenue. So basically in the last 7 days, the platform generated $132, and this is going to be distributed to all the token holders in 6 hours. This is the amount of ICP that's being paid as rewards, meaning what content creators generated and received as rewards. And this is the revenue that has been paid to token holders since TAGGR launched. So in 3 years, it has distributed almost 5,000 ICP to the token holders. And this is happening on a weekly basis. Every Friday, you got your spare change for a beer. You can go to the pub and use what you earned during the week to get a beer or something. You can see everything that's happening. Everything is transparent. And this is the technical side, and this is the social side. You can see we just joined. It's going to say that we joined a couple of minutes ago, and everything that's happening on the platform, you're going to see it. You can see all the proposals that have been executed in the past. You can see how many people accepted, the percentage of approval or reject. You can also look at the token dashboard. This is more specific for the governance token distribution. We have 316,000 circulating. There's going to be a maximum of 1 million tokens. not one more. Currently, there are more than 7,000 holders. This is the amount of tokens that are held by the users on the platform. So these users are receiving dividends every week. This is the active opt-in power and how much is generating. So basically, if you're holding 1,000 TAGGR, you're going to get 46 cents per week. Approval threshold, you see all the users, how much they're holding. X is the main developer, the one that launched it. We got Mecca, Radu, these are all the timers from the platform, those that are joined really early in its stage, basically. And yeah, this is something we didn't mention, how the token is being distributed. So every week you have a set amount of tokens that are being released on the market, and everyone can create a bid to get a hold of those tokens. At the same time, it's going to decide the price of the token in order for the people to receive their rewards. So as I said earlier, if you generated $5 worth of rewards and you choose to mint TAGGR tokens, you're going to get $5 worth of TAGGR based on the price that's been set at the auction. The amount of dollars the ICP received through the auction goes to the TAGGR treasury and gets distributed to token holders as dividends. And here you have the ledger, so you can see all the transactions that have been happening when it comes to the governance token. This is the mint from last week, so you can see basically how much each person got. And it's all transparent. What else do we have? We have the useful links, where to exchange TAGGR, a bit of community maintained resources. You also have the distribution, so you can see in more detail who got what when it comes to minting the TAGGR token, the DAO revenue, how it's been distributed. And Mekakwan said earlier that Realm owners also get a share of what they're generating. It's 5%, basically. And you can see how much each Realm generated and how much the controller got in credits. We have a community roadmap. There's no roadmap set in stone. Anyone can come here. They can say, okay, I would like to see a new feature. Unfortunately, I cannot raise a request for now because it costs 1,000 credits. And with this account, we only have 200 for now. But essentially, if I would like to see a new feature on the platform, I can come here. Detail what I have in mind and who's available and has the skills can come and say, okay, I'm interested in building this. I'm going to do it. Send the commit to GitHub. It's going to be reviewed and then propose to the DAO to be implemented in the platform. I think it would be interesting to send the posts, for example, so we can see how the impact of the cost is based on what you're trying to post, basically. Here you can choose the realm where you want to post. So for example, let's say we can use Markdown, test post. This is the title. This is a subtitle. It also renders how the post would look like once you post it. You can choose to attach an image, maybe. Let's post my profile pic. And we can see it's going to cost me 22 credits because I also attached an image to the post. Hashtags also have a cost. It depends on how popular they are. The more popular, the more followers the hashtag has, the more it's going to cost. So for example, if I choose the profile pic, it's not going to have a big impact, maybe because it doesn't exist, but because not many people are going to following this hashtag. But for example, I know TAGGR is a quite popular one, and in fact, it's going to bump up to 39 credits. The reason is because if a lot of people follow the hashtag, then you're going to have more visibility. So it makes sense for it to cost a bit more. And that's it. You just submit. And there you have it. You have your post. You're going to see it here. For example, we have a bot. It's been made by X. He basically takes news about crypto, about general happenings across the world, but maybe you don't want to see this. You just go to this account and you can mute it. When you go back, you're not going to see it anymore. Let me refresh. Exactly. So now I'm not going to see any more posts from the X bot because I don't like bots. I don't want to see them.
Thank you very much. This was a great demo. And yeah, I really like how simple it is to use the platform. And also I like the fact that basically the experience is like a web to social media experience in terms of speed and convenience. So it really looks like we're using a web to website. So there's no friction to post and to use the platform, which is very cool. And I also like the fact that it's everything very transparent, as you said. And I think this is very very important because I see social media as a public utility, or at least they should be considered a public utility because we all saw what happens when somebody owns a social media and applies censorship and I don't think this is the way that social media should work because everyone should have a voice and the right to express his opinions. And it's not cool when somebody gets banned for political reasons, for example, or because he's expressing his free speech rights, because this happened many times. It happened with Donald Trump on X, it happened with Andrew Tate on X. Now X was taken over by Elon Musk, who's advocating for freedom of speech. But social media should not rely on a personality that takes over a social media and changes the rule. It should always be censorship resistant and open and transparent. So, guys, thank you very much for being here and showing us the platform and talking about decentralized social media. And I will leave the link to your platform in the description where users can join and also get some free credits to start using TAGGR for free. And I just wanted to ask you one last question. Um, what do you think it's missing for decentralized social media to become mainstream?
Users.
Yeah, right. Because the problem with social media is that basically it's a network, and usually its value is considered as the squared of the users. And in order to have a utility on a social media, you need to have a big amount of users. You need to reach what's called a critical mass that allows users to actually have a great utility when using the platform. So usually we saw through history that major social media, the biggest ones, they rule for much time and they got all the value inside for the users. But then we also saw that some new social media can get viral and start competing with some bigger social media. Like for example, it happened with Instagram after Facebook, and then with TikTok after Instagram. So I also think that the main problem is network effect. So we need to find a way to make this decentralized social media very mainstream so that we can bring users and give utility to the users who join the platform. I think this day will come. Guys, thank you very much for being here. Again, I will leave the link in the description. I will leave the link to the social media and see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.